like mourning is just the most draining process. If you do not do it correctly, you know, it's draining. Girl, we both lost our parents.
Yeah.
My dad, both her parents or whatever, very young. They were young or whatever when they passed. And it molded who we are today. Like we talk about that all the time. Like it literally molded us to this day, and that's crazy, good and bad.
Good and bad.
It has, but it sticks with you. It really sticks with you. It like makes you who you are.
It changes your life. Like nothing's the same. Nothing's the same. Everything changes.
Yeah.
And it's like, now what? Or you know, like you get to a state, especially with losing a parent. I feel like how do I move on? Like I've lost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it hits.
I always thought it was like part of me is gone.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Without him, it would have been no me. You know what I'm saying? Like I always think of it as like that. And then of course you go into the deeper stuff. You start to get feeling guilty, or I could have done, or I should. You know, it's just so many stages of mourning, and it's just unfortunate that they're going through mourning and BS.
All the stuff on time. It would have to be emotionally draining. It has to be. Like that's what I'm saying. Like emotions are high. You know, at the end of the day, like. They still family, you know what I mean? And they know that.
Yeah.
Emotions are high.
Yeah, and it's gonna be underlying stuff that we would never know.
Never know, yeah.
Never know.
And it's none of our business at the same time.
It's not, and things happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, and hopefully it changes, you know, later on. But I wanted to get on here, checking in crew, and talk about mourning. It's just something that has been coming up in our conversations more recently. And I just wanted to get on here and talk about it, and talk about the stages and the mental health, you know, part of the aspect of it, because it plays a huge role in our lives, because the death is inevitable. It's going to be a time we all are going to have to deal with it.
The only thing you're promised in life is death. Like, that's real.
Yeah.
The only thing you're promised in life is death. Like, we all born to die.
Yeah.
Guarantee that. Nothing else is guaranteed.
Yeah.
So,
but I wanted to talk about that, and check in with you guys at home always, like usual, for another season here for the podcast. We are always loving having y'all here. Make sure y'all check in the comments, like, comment, and subscribe. Like we said, just get into this conversation about mourning and just the feelings it takes you through, and especially happening at a young age. I think it's more difficult when it's younger, because you don't even know how to deal with, like, what is that?
Yeah, like,
have you ever go to a, you know what I'm saying, going to a funeral, and then you just looking like, you know, like, what's going on? Why does he look like that? Why does she look like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, like, it's even a traumatic just experience alone until you can understand it. I don't know, for me it was always like weird, all the way until I like finally understood what's going on.
And then I think it's, ooh, girl, it's to the level, you know what I mean? Because there's, like, with us, no one in our family has died of natural causes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's all been in tragic, horrible death.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, like, you know what I mean?
Nobody dies of old age.
No one died, like, just no, it's just always tragic and it's horrible. And, like, we were talking about this yesterday, and I was saying, you know, being 8 years old and sitting at my father's funeral on the front row, and the way my father was killed, because he was killed, you know what I mean? For him to even to be presentable, it was like, I just remember seeing, I will never forget, I remember seeing his nose, and I'm like, no, that's not my dad.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what this is, but no.
Yeah.
8 years old, and I will never forget the shape of the nose, like.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's a traumatic, And you know what's even crazier is that. So we'll just leave this one. What's even crazier is that some people can just move past it and become numb.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like you said, no matter how much trauma or stuff we went through, it's never just like normal to me. It's just not. You know, like, or where I'm numb, you know, because we have had a lot of deaths, and I think also it comes with having a huge family.
True.
You know, like, of course, more people, more, you know, but, yeah, I think it's just like, I don't think I could ever be numb to it. It hurts. And also because we're such family people.
Yeah. And then this is the thing, so I feel like when you lose a parent, or some, not even just a parent for us specifically, but someone you love, at a young age, as you go through life experiences, new wounds are open. You know what I mean? Like, ooh. When I got married, who was walking me down the aisle? And my mother, you know, like, not here. Like, that was, ooh. At one time, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
It's been 20 plus years. And I'm over here crying.
Yeah.
You know, because I want my mom and dad.
Because that's how, like you said, it's going to be milestones that's going to bring it up for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Because it's going to always be the what ifs and the...
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like a new wound every time, huh?
It's different when it hits you, when it's young. Because you don't have...
the time. You don't have the time. You don't have the memories made.
Yeah.
It hurts. Even worse. I think... for me, I struggled with, it was our like parents had mental health problems.
Yeah.
So it was like they never even had a chance. They both all went through poverty. They all been through, you know, like messed up situations. Like as children all the way up, they didn't even have a decent life.
They didn't.
And I don't want to say that completely, you know, because
because they were taken care of.
Hustlers.
But mentally,
as far as that went, it was like,
there was food provided, there were houses, everybody was clothed.
They were gonna get it.
Like, sure. But when it comes to mentally and emotionally, that's the thing. Like, that's where a lot of people don't have that support.
Yeah.
And then we're here, you know, 30, 40, 50, 60. Like, man, I'm
trying to get it together.
I'm a fucked up as an individual. You know?
Trying to get it together.
But I'm good.
Yep.
But it's one of those, it's okay to not be okay.
But you know what? And then now you have to speak to how to get there.
Yeah.
You know why? Because you had a different experience that some culturally never get to have and just getting mental health as a kid, you know? And now you have to like even talk about that.
Yeah. Because I was in...
That's a major deal, because...
I was in counseling for majority of my childhood.
Yeah.
Like, my mother was killed. Both my parents were murdered. So my mother was killed when I was 6. That was 1999. And, but I was fortunate enough to go to counseling as a kid. And it was actually required by the court. So... I was given the fundamental tools to deal with my emotions as a kid, you know what I mean? Which was completely, it's not common in our community. And I don't know what my mom had set up in her will when she died, but it was just, I'm so grateful, you know what I mean? Like her kids.
You were protected.
Yes, her kids went to good households, you know what I mean? Knew they were going to be taken care of. It was required by court that my brother and I, every weekend, we're alternating houses and there's caseworkers picking us up and we're going bowling and we're going swimming. Like, it was a requirement by court that this relationship was established.
Yeah.
Because we went from being together to separate households. Dang.
Yeah.
And I didn't even have that emotion hit. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff comes to you through different experiences and different moments in life, but I was really fortunate to get those tools. I don't know who I would be if I didn't.
Yeah.
Like, I just really don't. Like, you know what I mean?
And like I just want to like emphasis. It's almost unheard of.
Yes.
In the projects, you know what I'm saying? Like that's like crazy. It's unheard of for somebody. And then also the justice part of it. because the courts made a right decision, and baby, that is rare.
Yes.
That is so rare. Like, it could have went so left, like you said, if it wasn't for your mom. And then now, let's talk about wills. Come on.
Say it.
Come on.
Say it.
And your mom was a white woman.
Yes.
Which, statistically, they're more common, or just white people in general have the wills and the all set up.
Yeah.
That's major.
That's huge.
It saved your life. Y'all could have been in the system.
We could have been in the system.
And it's crazy because now it's like even common that you hear celebrities don't have them when they die. Mm-hmm. And now families fighting, selling chicken plates for the people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 15 GoFundMe's going around and, 10 of them are scams. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's crazy.
I know mourning is hard. I know all that. Talking about death is extremely hard. But preparation is necessary because it could save a life.
It absolutely
has. It has.
And then I'm just saying, we're older, you know what I mean? Like, let's be real. Like, stuff happens. Why don't you get some life insurance? Set your people up. Like, I mean, just be...
No, for sure.
Especially if you got kids, you got, family that relies on you, make sure.
Well, that and if you know that eventually you're gonna die,
everyone's
come up for your family. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not even saying like that, but they won't have to struggle to put you away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At least they, 9 times out of 10, it helps. With any other financial. It's just smart.
Yeah.
A lot of people, wealth comes from that. A lot of people's wealth comes from that.
Sense.
Families, generational wealth. Because they all just had life insurance. I just want to, like we saying, about mourning.
Yeah.
It unfolds these type of conversations. It's just so many things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How many times, with somebody dying and whoever is, in charge of you just see them.
Yeah.
You really don't have a choice. The body, has to be good, put on the ground, and they're ripping and running. My mom was like a robot. Her and her best friend.
Yeah.
It's just like, dang.
Non-stop.
It's next week. You know what I'm saying? How do you even do that while mourning? It's so many layers, but most important layer is doing the work to get better.
Yeah.
And no matter, I get the milestones hurt, but you can't cry forever, man. They hurt. And I get it. It was like, sometimes with my dad, it'd be like, this remind me of him. And now I'm crying, ugly crying. Because of unresolved stuff, deeper stuff. It never was like the basic stuff,
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it was never that. It was more like the stuff that didn't happen, like you said. Like, memories that weren't made or fixing things, So, doing the work. And loving your people while they're here.
Yeah.
How about let's do that? That's number one. That'll get rid of the guilt part of it. It's so many. That's major. Love them here now.
Like we say, give flowers.
Yeah.
Give your people their flowers.
Love them here.
Yeah.
Love them for sure. I just,
And I think when you say, because it's when random moments things will hit in your car, I feel like that's healthy though. You know what I mean? Because there's a release.
What's healthy?
When something reminds you of something and you ugly cry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I feel like that's a form of, just
yeah.
That's okay. There's nothing wrong with crying.
No, that's true.
Let it out.
It'll build rage. We talked about that earlier. The rage that sometimes mourning can put upon you. They were fighting for real at the Grammys.
Yes.
That's rage. Mourning does that. That shit tears you up inside. I was that. Literally, my dad died 16. I was a horrible person. If you believe a kid could be horrible, baby, I was hurt. Hurting everybody, did not give a damn. Real bad.
Damn.
Evil. Yeah. So I just think the placement of emotions, everything, you gotta check those immediately after. More, and I get it. It's just hard. I get it, but you gotta push through and do the work. because it could really turn you into a bad person.
Bitter, angry. Like you said, hurt
all the
you're
time.
angry.
Yeah.
Depression is real, y'all. You gotta address your issues and deal with them. And man, because I met a lady driving through Uber, and I'm so happy that I met her. But she told me something that changed my life. And she had just got back from Egypt. She did a month solo trip in Egypt. And the energy off of her was just like, you get in my car and I'm like, oh my gosh. Like I feel, it was like a glow coming from her and we just clicked. But she was like, I feel like, and we're talking about spirituality and the universe. Like people are placed in your life for reasons, and we're having this conversation. And she's just like, I feel like I'm supposed to tell you this. And we're both trying not to cry. We just met 10 minutes ago. You know what I mean? And she's like, there's something that you've been holding on to and a void that you've been trying to fill for so long. But, like in life, like you just have to understand chapters close. This is a book. Whatever you're trying to fill, like that chapter's done. You're on to the next story.
Yeah.
And it changed, and you were telling me the same way, but we've had this conversation. You're like, you said this. People have told me this, but when she said it, it just hit me so different. I don't know if it's because of the journey I'm on.
Yeah.
And like right then, and I went home. I'm like, I'm not.
And I'm your cousin.
Yes. And I'm like,
a stranger told you that.
Stranger
that's totally
knows
different.
nothing about me.
Yeah, we can't even act like that's not.
Knows nothing
totally
about
different.
me. I've been chasing a void to fill with my parents. I don't know how many people I tried to call mom. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you're big sisters. This person, and just people you're close with. You call them. Family.
Like I've been trying to fill voids for so long, but when she said that, it was like it hit different. And I stopped driving. I went home because I didn't want anyone else in my headspace, in my energy, because it's like, okay. And I went home and I cried.
Yeah,
I cried.
Released it.
Absolutely. And you know what I mean? And then after I cried, I put my big girl panties on, and now I'm looking at life differently.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
I think it's like mourn, but it's a way to do it in a healthy way, in a way that can actually make you feel better. Because that filling the space is never gonna happen.
No.
Filling the space is gonna get you ruined. Ran through, dragged, worn the fuck out
in the wrong crowd, with the wrong people.
Yeah.
People who don't really love you. You're searching for love.
Looking for love everywhere. Yes.
Been there, done that.
It'll make you crash out for real.
Yeah.
So it's like it's really doing the work to just have a positive outcome in it. And I know it hurts. It's gonna always hurt. Yeah. But every holiday doesn't have to be sad.
No.
It doesn't. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be. And honestly, we can't talk about honoring our ancestors and do that.
Right.
My dad would be sick if I stopped living because he died. He would have been sick of it. And I really know that for a fact.
That's real.
He'd be sick.
And like you said, you have to put in the work.
Yeah.
You have to put in the work. This past year for the holidays, I tried to do more things that, just kept me busy, and I got into a funk, but it wasn't the same funk that it was the year before, So you have to, it's a continuing thing, and you put in that work, you're going to get to a point where you're like,
I'm okay.
Yes.
I'm okay.
Yeah, but you have to work on it.
Yeah.
You can't just say I'm okay and not actually put in work.
Yeah. And I think that's where I'm at right now. It's just I'm okay. I'm okay.
A healed state.
Yeah, I'm okay because I know I'm at peace with it.
Yeah.
Because I know he's at peace. I've done the mental work in my head let that go, Lex. Let that go too.
Yeah.
He's gone.
Done.
You can't. My mom used to tell us all the time, you let somebody run you from the grave, you gotta be crazy. You know what I'm saying? You have to move on. You gotta bury with them.
Yeah.